Hello there, guys. I am your host, Bob BL, and I am back here with a new video. For today's video, we're going to take a look into the evolution and the concept designs that gave rise to our cosmological and atmospheric map of the world of Lineaos. So for those of you who have been following this channel and project so far, you guys are well aware as to what this is, for you've seen it many times before. So for those of you who don't know, this is, like I said, a cross-sectional map of my fictional world, Lineaos, from my world-building project, Lineaos, a symphony of 2 dimensions in 3-dimensional space. So for more context, this is a bird's-eye view map, showing the continents, an inland sea, the vast world ocean, and the mountains that give the world its rim and its end. So that's a bird's eye view map. This map is basically if you were to cut the world in half like a piece of cake. This map gives you basically a deeper view into what the world of Lineaos actually is like. For example, the continents of Nu and Mu are suspended above the ocean by large rocky pillars, and that the Telosian and Phoenician mountains are held up by a large rocky wall which slopes inward connecting to the seafloor. Basically, it contains the ocean, similar to a large bowl. It's basically a large rocky bowl, a bowl of soup and brine. This map also reveals the 4 atmospheric layers of Lineaos. We have Cheilusia. This is the largest part of the sky, aka the firmament or inner cosmos. Basically, it's similar to our sky. Okay, there's clouds and weather phenomenon, but it has these little orbs here amongst the clouds. Basically, there's a small little mini solar system orbiting high in the sky. So despite having clouds and blue skies, we also have moons, stars, and suns floating around. Moving up, we have the realm of Caligos, or the vapor canopy. This is the thinnest layer, and this is what makes the realm of Cheilusia moist. Alright, basically it makes it comfortable to breathe. Above Caligos, up here, is the realm of Catagia, or the storm canopy. Here, ferocious storms and winds, hail, cyclones, and tornadoes blow ferociously about. Above that is the realm of Astraea, or the outer cosmos, aka the abyss. So this realm is similar to our form of outer space. As you can tell, there are many orbs floating around, many outer worlds, similar to the ones within the inner solar system. But yeah, this is basically the Lineaos equivalent of space. But yeah, that's basically what this map is, for those of you who don't know what it is. This is the current version that I have on my channel and on my website. But like I said, today we're going to look into the evolution of the design of this map, and where it came from, and some of the influences behind it. So without further ado, let's look into the evolution of the cosmological model of Lineaos. So if we open my sketchbook, we find the first ever sketch of the cosmology of Lineaos that I can find. You can see how much has changed from the current one to the very first one. As you can tell, there really are no continents. Instead, there's a very big piece of land, which I call the surface. You can tell there's mountains, trees, lakes and rivers, and there's cliffs at each end, which dump off into a vast world ocean. And as you can tell, there is no inland sea splitting the continents. Instead, there is an underground sea. And you see there's the rocky pillars holding up the large landmass below. And as you can tell, instead of 4 layers of the atmosphere, there are actually 3. So the realm that would become Kailusia, or the firmament, in Inner Cosmos was originally called the Parallelosphere. As a matter of fact, long ago, the world of Lineaos was going to be called the Parallelosphere, but I thought that name didn't really catch on and it wasn't really cool. Lineaos sounded much cooler. As you can tell, within the realm of the Parallelosphere, we have the celestial spheres, like the suns and planets orbiting around within the sky. Above the Parallelosphere, we have what would become Katagia, or the storm canopy. And above that, we have a realm known as the Abyss, but it's quite different than the Abyss of Astrea. For as you can tell, there really are no celestial spheres like suns and moons. This originally was just going to be just pitch darkness and blackness and shadows. There was going to be nothing here. But above it, however, there are celestial bodies outside of it. So I guess this can be Astrea? But yeah, that is the first design of the cosmological and atmospheric map that I drew. Up next, we have this one, which was scanned into my computer that I couldn't find the original sketch of. But this was another version of the map that was made 2 months before the current one. As you can tell, it looks just about the same, but it's just formatted differently. It doesn't have as much detail. But there are some differences with naming the layers of the sky. For example, as you can tell, the realm of Kailusia was just called the firmament, and the vapor canopy was known as Atmosa, not Kalagos. Katagia is still the same, but Astrea was just called the outer cosmos or the abyss. But yeah, this map is mostly accurate, but just not with certain names, and like I said, it's not as detailed. But you can obviously tell that this was used as the base for my current map. So up next, we have this colored one, which looks quite different than the current one we have. It is reminiscent of the original one. For example, there is no Nu and Mu. There is just one large landmass, and of course we have a ocean, which I colored as magenta, and we have the pillars holding up the continents, and we have the mountain ranges too. But as you can tell, there are only 3 regions of the atmosphere. So what would become Kailusia? Of course, we have like the clouds, and also the celestial bodies. There's no vapor canopy. We have a stormy region here, and we have the outer cosmos, as you see here. But there is also another very big difference. So encasing all of that is this very big shell of black rock. Yes, this is supposed to be rock. And there's an opening going into the outer cosmos, and another opening at the bottom of the sea floor. Basically, it's reminiscent of Hollow Earth. So for those of you who aren't aware, the Hollow Earth theory is this idea that the planet Earth is hollow, and at the poles, you can see here, there are entrances to Hollow Earth, even across the world as well. And within the Earth is its own world. Like, basically there's continents, there's like dinosaurs living there, advanced civilizations, and monsters dwelling there. And this is a map of it. Basically, you can see there's a continent called Agartha. And there's also a lot of conspiracy theories behind this too. Like, there are people who do believe this too. As a kid, I was really interested in this stuff. But I don't believe the Earth is hollow. So here's a book on Hollow Earth that my dad had when I got into it, and he gave it to me to read it, but I never really did. But yeah, this is a book he had on it because he was into a lot of weird stuff. But yeah, a very interesting concept. But yeah, Hollow Earth was the sort of thing I was trying to go for when I designed this map. However, I got rid of the whole rocky shell thing when I made the current one. So here is a model I made on MS Paint that I used as a stencil to basically make that said map. So basically I traced over it to draw this, but I decided to, make some edits, some major and minor edits to it to make it to my own perfection. Here's a scanned in black and white version of that said map before I decided to color it in. So that's the scan of it. And here's a colored version of the said stencil. You see the ocean is magenta, the sky is blue, the storm canopy is gray, and the outer cosmos is black. And of course the continents and stuff are like a grayish black color, and the seafloor is gray. But yeah, this is a colored version that I made on MS Paint, just as a concept, just to act as a guide for the drawing. And I also came across this weird diagram of the atmospheric layers of Lineaos that I made on MS Paint as well. So I have arrows going down, I guess going down layers. So up here we have what was called the abyssosphere. Obviously that's the abyss or Estrella, the outer solar system. They have the second layer, which is the procelosphere. I guess this is like where like the storm was and the clouds. The troposphere, a reference to Earth's atmosphere. This is where the clouds are and stuff. And of course the inner cosmos. Then, of course, you have the surface, which, in reference to the Earth, the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and the biosphere are contained on the surface. But yeah, this is, like, completely different from the maps I've drawn. But yeah, this is, like, I guess one of the earliest ones I've made on MS Paint. But yeah, I came across this. So, there you have it, guys. The evolution of Linnaeus's atmospheric and cosmological models. So it's pretty interesting how we came all the way from something like this to somewhat of a Hollow Earth style world to the final product that we have now today. And I'm pretty happy with the way it looks now. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more content. And if you're interested in this project, please check out my channel and please visit my website. Have a nice day and stay safe and well. Bye!